The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Happiness Jungle with yours truly, the Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge. And today, I cannot be more excited. You know, senior by age, but youth by mindset. That's what we're talking about today on the Can We Talk segment. I've got two very special gentlemen with me today. Richard Hunnewell, no, it's not Hunnewell. Is it Hunnewell?
It is Hunnewell.
It is Hunnewell, and he's just as juicy as a Hunnewell. Richard has inspired me. I met him in New York, and we've been friends ever since, and that was almost, about 6 months ago, huh?
We've become fast friends, and it's been a wonderful experience, Lyn-Dee.
Oh, my goodness, so juiced. And can you imagine roller skating one morning and being blessed to be in a roller skating ring with, in my eyes, a champion roller skater, a professional dancer. That's who else is with us. And Fred, you have just inspired me so much. Both of you you light up the world and you make the youth look lazy.
Happy to be with you today.
Oh, man. You hike all the time.
I do.
You dance all the time.
I love to dance.
You are enjoying life to the fullest.
I am, Lyn-Dee. And I didn't always enjoy life to the fullest. I've learned how to enjoy life to the fullest. I really believe it's a learned skill.
How old were you when you started to love life?
I would say in my mid-40s, after a rather serious tragedy and heartbreak and betrayal. And I realized at that time that I had a choice. I could become a victim and become cynical and sour about life, or I could look at what was wrong. Well, maybe wrong's the wrong word. I could look within and find out what I could do to make a more enjoyable and a happier and more fulfilled life. And I really found the answers for me. I
love it. And I've already danced with you and your beautiful significant other, Marie, who I absolutely adore. I was invited to their home in Maine, and they had some wonderful people there, and they had a wonderful little barbecue going. Well, that night downstairs, they have a theater room. They had disco lights going. They played the Bee Gees, and I don't know for how many hours. It was at least 2 hours. It was nonstop dancing down there, and it was fabulous.
And I might add, the theme of the party was what we called an HOL party, which is high on life. That's what that stands for.
High on life.
And so what we chose to do was invite only those people and friends and acquaintances that we knew that had a very positive and happy attitude towards life. And I have to tell you, it made quite a difference because there was a synergy of bringing people with positive energy together that just elevated it to a degree that would not have occurred if we had just had one or two people with a positive energy.
Yeah, just let your hair down, right?
That's it.
Pretty much. And Fred, you always inspire me. I walk into the skating ring and there you are. You're literally glowing. You're so helpful in so many ways. How's Mom doing? How's Mom feeling?
She's doing actually quite well. My mother's 98 years old, and she's been through a lot in her life. She's had cancer. She's had a radical mastectomy, and she's survived all of that. And she's been in and out of the hospital for various things. She now has a pacemaker, but at 98, she's still able to walk with the help of a walker, and I'm able to pick her up and take her to her doctor's appointments, and when she feels up to it, take her to her favorite senior citizens restaurant in Draycott, a place she used to go with my father when he was alive many, many times.
Oh.
Well, she's doing well, thank you.
Happy birthday.
And thank you again for that. I had a wonderful birthday celebration at one of my favorite places, the Paper Moon Dance Studio, and that's in Merrimack, where I go to classes here practically every day. Had a great time there. They celebrated sort of birthday of the month, My dance teacher had a birthday, and I had a birthday, and another student had a birthday there. So we had birthday cake, we had dancing all evening, balloons, celebration, lots of fun.
I love that.
And that's a group of people that I find my place in life in dancing, as I had years back in roller skating, where I find that dancing, ballroom dancing, brings a sense of enjoyment and challenge, of course, and it's a wonderful social outlet. Ballroom dancing is a wonderful social outlet. When you learn to dance, you find it's much more enjoyable. You don't think about what you're doing. You go there with your little bag of dance shoes, you put them on, and you know you're going to have a great time. I find that's true wherever I go, to Atlanta, Virginia, to visit my children in Virginia. I Google up where the dance studio activity is, and I go there. May not know anybody walking in the door, but I know everyone before I leave, you know.
I met a man in South Florida where I winter in the cold months who has the same passion that you have for ballroom dancing. And what he does is he goes on junkets to China, where ballroom dancing is very popular in China. So here's a man in his late 70s who goes to China, and all these young girls think he's just terrific. And so you should hear him talk about his experiences.
Wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. China is huge on the world stage in ballroom dancing. Well, Europe is too. Western Europe, amazing. Western Europe. Some of the best dancers in the world, you find a competition there. The United States is not doing that well on the world stage. Well, I mean, they have entries in there, and they have finalists in there, but really the champions are the Asians and the Western Europeans. You know, I watched them all. You know, I watched a YouTube subscription to all of them. I watched them all. But I do it on a much smaller level. I compete in ballroom dance with my dance teacher, Maria Heward. She and her husband own the studio and operate all the dance classes there in Merrimack. And I dance competition with her, as many as 2 or 3 a year. But we also do ballroom studio showcases. And we do that in various hotels that will be hosting a competition that particular week or weekend. And so do all of the others, which makes it a wonderful activity. There are groups of as many as 10, 12, 14 or more in a group performance. And there are solo performances that you might do with just a couple, another dance partner, as I do with my dance teacher. But to participate at any level, it's amazing, it's fun. And you have an audience of ballroom dance studio people from all over the state, all over the region actually, who come to these competitions. They watch and they bring their showcases to the dance floor, and you get to know people in this whole dance world. So that when you go to competitions, as it used to be in figure skating for me, you see the same people from everywhere.
Right.
And it's like a huge family of friends, and you maintain contact with them and all of this. So.
I love that. And I love how you say, you know, you just bring your shoes and there you go, you have a ball.
And you'll have a great time.
Yeah. So whether it's your dancing shoes or your roller skating boots, it's all about your feet, isn't it? Keep on moving.
It is, and especially your attitude of having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, make the good times, as you said, Richard. You know, you find within yourself to find this activity or this experience in your life that will bring happiness, bring a level of happiness to you that can be sustained easily just by your own participation, your own determination. You know, make yourself a happy person.
Isn't it funny? We all came from different sides, really, of the world. You were in military most of your life. You retired.
In my early yes, I enlisted in the Navy way back. Right out of high school in 1954, and I remained in the Navy as enlisted through my Navy career of 21 years, and I finished my Navy career as a Master Chief, which is equivalent to a Sergeant Major in the Army or Marine Corps, and that was fine. I think they would like me to have me stayed on another 10 years to make it 30 years, but I looked at my life clock, thinking, gee, I've done 20 years in the military. I stayed in another 10 years in the military. It would give me a 75% of my base pay, true. But it would mean that I would be probably 10 years less employable to seek a second career, which I wanted to do. And I'd be 10 years less inclined to want to pursue a college education. And and the other activities in my life that I want to do. So I chose not to stay in another 10 years. I left the Navy, and it was a wonderful career. I made a lot of friends in the Navy. I still am in touch with some of them. One fellow recently, who's in his 80s now, and not much beyond me, said to me, "Fred, you've got to stop by Myrtle Beach and see me on your way to Atlanta. You've got to come by and visit me before I die." And when he said that, I felt so bad. Oh my God.
Aww.
So I did. I went by and I hadn't seen him in over 20 years. And it was a wonderful, wonderful time I had with him down there, him and his wife. And, but it's friendships that go way back, it's true. I had a second career in federal civil service as a civil engineer. I went to Old Dominion University down there in Norfolk. And I got my degree in civil engineering and went to work as a civil engineer in the design branch. And I enjoyed that contact with the Navy, but I was so happy I didn't have to go on ships any longer. My work was strictly ashore on the base, with buildings and roads and other things that civil engineers do. And I retired from civil engineering for my second career in 1998, and moved to Massachusetts, a place I knew I would settle one day. But my dad had passed away in 1990, and left my mother essentially alone. No other siblings in the area. My brother lives down in Georgia. It's my only sibling, and so she was alone, but doing well. In 1998, when I moved up here, and she was doing well right up until just a couple of years ago, and she was no longer able to live alone.
Right.
But she drove until she was 91 years old.
Oh, wow.
She drove until she was 91 years old, and she maintained her independence, and she was wonderful. Read 2 newspapers a day and enjoyed her life and visiting people in the nursing home. But she always asked us and the family to make sure she didn't enter a nursing home. When it came time for her to need help, we could rally the family to do that, not put the burden on anyone in particular. And so she's happy now, living with my cousin and her husband, who are both retired.
How fabulous.
And she's doing really well.
Yeah, it's amazing where, I like to say, where we park ourselves. It makes a very big difference.
Yep.
You know, first of all, thank you very much. I want you to realize, you don't even realize how many people that you've inspired that are in the military, that are young, that are trying to make that decision. Should I go? Should I stay? They want me to stay. 10 more years. What's 10 more years? You really just help them understand the value of 10 more years.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I was touched by that, actually, when you shared that, because I was in the military as well. And I know very well that a lot of the consideration for people in the military is the security of that income. And so to go the extra 10 years to get 75% of your salary is a big jump in security. But yet, your story exemplifies my philosophy of life, which is life is all about risk. It's not about security.
Oh, yeah.
And so, Fred, you had the courage to say, no, I've had it enough, I want a second career. And I'm sure at the time, this was like stepping into the great unknown for you.
This is true.
And you did
absolutely.
it. And so I'm very inspired by that.
Thank you.
So you
Thank
both
Richard.
inspire me so much. The courage that you had just to step out of that comfort zone. That's a comfort zone. Oh,
Big
my
time.
goodness, right? That's a very big comfort zone. And to step out and start choosing to live life a different way and really excelling at it. And Richard, my goodness, you inspire me so much because, you know, you've shared with me that your past was, well, you weren't exactly the happiest person, but then you came to a certain age and you said, no more. So for the audience out there, the reason that my show is so juicy and so exciting to me, and the reason that I do it all the time is because I like my audience to take action. And I know that there are people that are sitting on the couch right now or wherever, and you have just inspired them. Now, it may not be them. It may be they have a spouse, a significant other, a child, somebody that they could say, oh my gosh, we're going to have to watch this again because this show is played several times in a week. So just think about that, the lives that you've changed. Now let me take it one step further. Let's talk about the gentlemen that are reaching their golden years, and to me that starts at 50. You know, I think after that, Well, we're not as fortunate as you two gentlemen. Some of us, are going to start hitting the doctors a little bit more than what is necessary. But what I love about you two gentlemen is that you've inspired people that, age means you're a senior. Mindset means you're young. You hike. I've been invited to go hiking with you just recently. I watch you. You send me pictures from up in the mountains with Marie or with somebody else that you're hiking. You mentor people.
Excellent.
You mentor a lot of people.
Do. Let me speak to this because this is a huge realization that I've come to. Of course, as we get older, we lose our vigor. We lose our looks. I look in the mirror in the morning and I don't recognize the man that's in the mirror. And that's disconcerting. However, there's another side to it. And that is, if we get our heads right, I honestly believe that the older years can be the best years of our lives because we've had the wisdom of life experience that young people don't have. And there's two ways to take that wisdom from the ups and downs, the suffering, as well as the good times. One is to become cynical, hardened, deadened, and I see a lot of that in the older folks. But another way is to look at it from a positive perspective because, yes, we lose our physical.
Right. We do?
But we have something up here that is much more powerful, and it's the spirit. And I see it in you, Fred. Being 14 years you're a junior, I really hope that when I'm your age, I have the same spirit of life that you have.
You have it, and I'm sure you will. I'm sure you always will.
Yeah, I think once you have this spirit, you'll never go back to any other kind of spirit.
Once the mind expands, there's no going back.
There's no
it's
going
a very
back.
powerful reality.
I love it. At 56 years old, and now I know I'm younger than both of you, but even at 56, there are things that came my way that I never imagined in a million years that would come my way. The different obstacles in life, if you will, that would try to get in front of you and say, hold on. And I'm like, hold on? No. There's nothing to hold on to. There's only things to grow from. And that's what you two gentlemen keep teaching me and reminding me, that it's worth waking up in the morning. It's worth dealing with my challenges. And then I get to think, well, now I'm going to think 10 years from now, right? 10 years from now, if my choices are on target and my actions fulfill, then I'll be able to constantly be able to smile and take my shoes and dance and roller skate, huh, Fred?
Absolutely.
Look at him. As soon as you say dance and roller skate, there's just that glow. There's just that, It's so cool. My birthday just passed. My neighbor, who's a florist, she found an old skate. From the way back when we had to have the keys and we wore our sneakers and we put them in the metal skates and the wheels were metal with the leather strap. And she made me an arrangement, but the skate was the platform. I was so delighted with the memories that that skate bought me. Brought me, and I say bought me because it refilled me, it rejuiced me. And then I look at my skate today. Thank you very, very much for my skates.
So welcome. So happy that
you and
can enjoy them.
have really set my feet and my body into the platform of skates. It's amazing when you surround yourself around like-minded people and what happens, It's great. So there I am a year ago. I broke my wrist roller skating at the same ring that we roller skate, and I said, no, we need to get back on skates. I was invited to the ring with seniors so the children aren't skating all around you, because just like a bicycle, when you fall and you need to get back up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here I
So
go.
true.
I start rolling away again. I'm starting to turn, and I love it. So thanks.
I'd like to pick up on what you said about being surrounded by like-minded people.
Yeah.
I really believe that is very, very important. And as a matter of fact, I'm conducting my very first mastermind down in South Florida this coming December, where I'm inviting aspiring entrepreneurs who have big, big dreams. And Lyn-Dee, as you know, you're invited.
I am
You're going to be
invited.
one of the charter members of this
Thank
mastermind.
you so much.
And it's so true that like-minded people bounce off, their energy bounces off of one another, and it inspires us. And it reminds me of the saying that you are as successful as the 5 closest people to you. So if you want to change in life and acquire more happiness or more success or better finances, it's very, very important to be surrounded by people who have succeeded and who have attained happiness. And this is why, Lyn-Dee, I am so enamored with what you're doing with the Happiness Jungle. As you know, I call it God's work.
Yes, you do.
Because there's a need in this world for spreading happiness. And for any of our listeners that might be in the corporate world, I think that you have such value that you can offer to corporations to come in and teach the skill of happiness, because happy employees make productive employees.
Yes, they do.
So I really admire you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much. And they also go home and make better people.
Yes.
You know, it's just that wonderful mantra, if you will. And I appreciate that. I love going into corporations. I love that they allow me to come in and first observe what's going on so I could really personalize the happiness mantra that I want to bring into their corporation, because each company is completely different. People are completely different. So I like to just like hang out like that, you know, like that fly on the wall, and just observe what's going on in each department. And then I'm able to bring the value. So that, and it gives me great joy. The results is what gives me the great joy. It's what makes me keep on going, you know?
Sure.
Absolutely.
And you transform lives.
And I transform.
And to
Wow.
me,
Yeah.
life is all about growth, our
It
own
is.
personal growth,
Yeah.
and contribution. I know I've been fortunate. I have all the material blessings any person could want.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
It
I
is.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the far greater pleasure is to have a positive impact on
Yeah.
other people. And that's what you do for a living.
Thank you. Thank you. I like that. You know, and it's true. You could have all the wealth in the world. Well, let's look at the celebrities out there. They are in bad shape. They're in such bad shape. I can't think of one that isn't going through. And people say, I wish I was like Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Remember the day when we wished we were like Bill Cosby? Really? So never
yeah.
wish you were somebody else. Just make you better. And you run after
point.
what you want, right?
Absolutely.
You run after what you want, so
Absolutely.
you could own it, and it's yours, and never allow anyone to take your dream away from you. Now, with that being said, everybody has dreams. People think they have to spend full time on their dream while still having to make a living. And that really isn't true. But you can never give up on your dream because you have to work full time.
Yes,
Right?
very true.
You go on Shark Tank, those people all are creating a lifestyle, a paycheck, but they're not giving up on their dream. And you know, as I pursue the happiness jungle and it's growing, I have to learn also patience, right? Because with anything else, it's patience, just like dancing. I'm going to step on your toes. You want me to go dancing with you.
Yep.
And I'm
Step on my toes, that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that because I want to do that with you. And I shared with you, oh, I'm not a good follower, and you said, don't you worry.
don't have to be a good
Don't have to
follower.
be a good anything. You
Just
just
have
have to
to
want
be,
to do it.
Be willing to have a good time.
Yeah, and that's something that we're going to really enjoy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think learning to dance is one of the things, like anything you challenge yourself with determination, teaches you, above all, to be very patient with yourself,
Yes.
understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. You know,
True.
just be patient and don't give up on your dream, as
That's
you say.
right.
You know.
And you could take a book, and you could be sitting next to somebody whose mindset is not positive, and you both are reading the same book, but for some reason you are like excited about what you read, you feel great inside, it really lifted you,
Yeah.
and the other person, because their mindset is so
Yep.
doom and gloom, and really they're basically a couch potato,
Yeah.
when you start exchanging the thoughts that you read or you listened to completely different, well, here's my question. Are you going to be doom and gloom, or are you going to take them over to your side and be happier? Or will you choose to say, you're entitled to your outlook of what we just read, and I'm going to find a different book club?
It's so true.
right?
Yeah, it
I could
speaks.
love that person,
Yeah.
but I don't have to read the books with them.
We,
It's true.
we really do create the reality
Yeah.
in our heads.
Yeah.
And there's a saying that I love, which is, there's nothing under heaven or earth that is good or bad, but that thinking makes it so. We really do have that kind of power to
Yeah.
control our reality by having the mindset of happiness and the
Yes.
mindset of success and the mindset in relationships of being magnanimous.
Right.
It's all here.
It
The
is.
power is all within.
It is. And we deal with so many people that are hoarders in the mind. They gather so many thoughts all at one time, and they're trying to accomplish so much, where at the end of the day, they've accomplished nothing because they were just running in that vicious circle. When we realize that part of being happy is being a little bit more organized in our thoughts, in our days, in our plans. Can you imagine trying to go dancing, but yet you didn't plan for that? You didn't know what time the studio opened. You had no idea it was going to be there. You just decided that you were going to go there. Kind of doesn't even serve you, right?
I call it focus. To me, that organization that you're talking about is really focus. What you focus on is what you get.
Yes.
So why not focus on the positive in life?
Yes.
There is so much in this world to be grateful for. And it is such an honor and a gift to be alive and to feel the aliveness. So if we focus on that and put away all the other distractions, you know, particularly television, which is constantly barraging us with this negativity. So to me, it's focus.
I like that. And what about you, Fred? We're running out of time, and I want you also to give that words of wisdom. I love what Richard said about focus, because that is so spot on.
Well, I think focusing on your goals and focusing on just being the person that you really want to be is so important in life. And I've come to believe and practice the understanding that it's much easier to make people happy and to be pleased with just being with other people that make you happy than it is trying to constantly adjust to every little thing. I usually when I encounter a problem with people who may not think as I might think about a certain thing, bringing up the book as a point there, I simply reconcile myself to the idea I'm not going to change the way they think. What I can do certainly is to change the way I might react to the way they think about it. You know?
Absolutely.
I can't believe it.
And
Ladies
not,
and gentlemen in our audience,
and
we're
not
out of
react to it.
time. And not react to it. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I do. Remember, never said life was easy, but I did say you could be happier. Gentlemen, thank you so much from my heart to yours. You men, you gentlemen are just so, oh my God.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.